To lubricate the clutch, you will need a flathead screwdriver, oil bottle that was included with the bike, and 10W30 oil. Remove the rubber plug from the clutch cover and set it aside so it does not get lost. Look down in the hole to identify where the oil needs to be dripped. Drop oil behind the snap ring and the black thrush washer. Let it sit for a couple of minutes. Replace the plug. This is what the clutch looks like behind the cover. Oil needs to be dripped behind the black thrush washer. If you have an older version, you will need a 10mm and 13mm socket wrench, 13mm open-end wrench, Phillips head screwdriver, and snap ring pliers. Remove the 2 Phillips screws that connect the clutch cover to the chain guard. Loosen the Phillips screw that attaches the chain guard to the frame. Just loosen, but do not remove. Remove the 3 bolts holding on the clutch cover. 2 on the bottom, 1 on the top. Remove the clutch cover. Loosen the 4 bolts that secure the motor. Just loosen, but do not remove. 13mm on the top, 10mm on the bottom. Locate the eye bolt that sticks out on the front of the frame behind the fender and turn it clockwise to loosen and slide the motor forward. Pull the chain from the bottom, pull it to the side, turn the tire to roll the chain off of the sprocket. Lay the chain between the sprocket and the tire. Pull slack in the front to remove the chain off the clutch. Lay it down. With a 10mm socket, remove the 10mm bolt from the center of the clutch. A ratchet or wrench can also be used. Just be sure to hit the end with the hammer so the bolt quickly comes loose. Otherwise, the motor will just continue to turn while the bolt is not being loosened. Slide the clutch off the crankshaft. Don't loosen the spacer. Leave on the crankshaft. Use a pair of snap ring pliers to remove the snap ring from the front of the clutch. Also remove the thrush washer. The B105 mini bike will have a bearing inside of the clutch drum. The B80 mini bike will have a hardened bushing. Apply high-temperature grease to the bearing or bushing and the clutch shaft. Replace the drum, thrush washer, and snap ring. Push down to ensure it snaps into place. Find the key slot in the crankshaft. Line it up with the key on the inside of the clutch. Reinsert the 10mm bolt and tighten. Reinstall the chain over the front clutch sprocket. Hold chain to reinstall on the bottom of the sprocket. Make sure the bottom of the chain goes over the top of the idler pulley. Roll back wheel towards the front. The chain will roll back on the sprocket. Use caution when doing this. Be sure not to pinch your fingers. Here's how to adjust the engine back to its original position. Hold the clutch cover over the clutch to reattach the 3 cover bolts. Snap the 2 halves back together and reinstall the Phillips screws. Make sure to tighten the back screw onto the chain guard as well.